I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Hold on to your socks because you are not going to want to miss this. This Wednesday, we have a spooktacular special. Hey guys, Kane here with the History Rats, and today is October the 16th, the third Wednesday in October. That should mean that it is our third spooktacular story from history. However, yo girl, she fell short last week. Our second spooktacular story from history, which is so spooktacular that it will make up for me missing my spooktacular story last week and giving you a journey of 1,000 miles, which, just so you know, I personally think that the message from last week was top notch, but spooktacular it was not. Without further ado, I present to you Houston's Last Lost Boy, a 50-year-old mystery. Enjoy. Hey guys, Kayan here with the History Rats, and today we're doing things a little different. We are going to be reading an article by Emma Henderson Vaughn, which was published August 7th of 2003. Now, this article was written and published on a very special website, and we will talk about that later. But first, let's get into this story. Half a century after this young man was murdered in Houston, Texas, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is releasing brand new imagery of John Doe 1973 in hopes it will lead to his identity finally being discovered. Can you help solve this 50-year-old mystery? The Houston Heights in the early 70s. It was the early 1970s, and across the U.S., artists like Elton John and Led Zeppelin topped charts on the radio. Gas prices were around 36 cents a gallon, and on the big screen, Marlon Brando uttered the famous line, "I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse." Just a short distance away from downtown Houston, a community called Houston Heights was filled with families. Kids rode their bikes around the neighborhood and played outside until dinner time. However, beneath the surface of this seemingly normal neighborhood, a troubling pattern had emerged. Between 1970 and 1973, young boys and teens mysteriously vanished across the city. Although the missing reports continued to rise, the disappearances were often brushed off as runaways, leaving grieving families with unanswered questions about their missing sons. Within the Houston Heights, an outwardly average and friendly guy, Dean Corll, worked locally as an electrician. Corll was known to residents as the Candy Man, a nickname he'd earned himself from working at his mother's candy company when he was younger. Corll often handed out free candy to local children and befriended young boys in the area, allowing them to hang out around the candy shop. However, beneath Corll's facade of innocence lurked a chilling secret, one that would come to light years later.
Big Red. Big Red is not a sponsor of the History Rats, but they could be if they wanted to be, because I love Big Red. Love it, love it, love it. The Houston Mass Murders. On Wednesday, August 8, 1973, police officers responded to a distress call at 2020 Lamar Street in Pasadena, Texas, where Dean Corll had moved earlier that summer. Upon arrival, investigators say they discovered 17-year-old Elmer Wayne Henley alongside Corll's lifeless body. Henley claimed to police that he shot Corll 6 times in self-defense. Yet what seemed like an average homicide scene would become something else entirely. Henley would begin to reveal shocking secrets that would lead police to a crime scene no one was expecting. Henley and Corll's other accomplice, 18-year-old David Brooks, led investigators to multiple grave sites across the Houston area, including a boat storage shed, Sam Rayburn Reservoir, and a beach at High Island. Each location revealed a scene straight out of a nightmare. This dark chapter in history would become known as the Houston Mass Murders, marking the worst serial killing in the United States at that time. The aftermath, and the lost boys. In total, the Houston Mass Murders claimed the lives of at least 28 young men, though the true death toll will most likely never be known. Over the years, the victims were collectively given the group name of the Lost Boys. They ranged in age from 13 to 20, and many of them vanished while going about their daily routines, walking to work, or trying to use a payphone. Henley and Brooks, who knew some of the victims as friends, were responsible for luring many of the victims into Corll's home under false promises of fun. Henley reported to police that Corll paid them $200 for each victim. Both accomplices pled not guilty to charges brought against them for their part in the crime. Despite their plea, both received life sentences, as they should. Henley was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences, and although he has made many attempts at parole, he remains incarcerated today, as he should. David Brooks also received life in prison for his part in the murder spree. Brooks died in prison in 2020 due to complications from COVID-19. I didn't realize COVID-19 did good things, but here we are. Probably shouldn't have said that. Can you help us solve the final mystery? Over the years, investigators were able to identify 27 of Corll's known victims, giving each of the lost boys a name, except for one. In a new effort to bring awareness to his case, forensic artists at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children created this brand new reconstruction image of what he may have looked like in life. According to police, this young man was one of the 17 bodies discovered in the boat storage shed on August 9, 1973. Investigators believe he was between 15 and 18 years old at the time of his death, and he had likely been deceased for 12 months or more prior to his recovery. He was Caucasian with possible admixtures including Hispanic, but investigators believe his outward appearance would have been primarily white. According to the medical examiner, he had brown hair approximately 7 inches in length. Examination revealed that he had a mild form of spina bifida, which may have caused him lower back pain or possibly affected his stride. However, it may not have produced any noticeable symptoms at all. In addition to the facial reconstruction image, forensic artists at the National Center worked collaboratively with the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences to create brand new digital reconstructions of the items found with John Doe. He was found with belted Catalina brand swim trunks with vertical red, turquoise, gold, and dark blue stripes. The swim trunks also had the letter C in the center of the wings on the silver buckle. John Doe 1973 was also discovered with a khaki-colored long-sleeved 70s style shirt that tied in the front. The shirt had a large red, white, and blue peace symbol on the back. Although it was previously thought that the shirt contained the letters USMC inside the peace symbol, the National Center confirmed with the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences that the shirt contained the letters USA within the symbol. The shirt also had the letters LBHMF written underneath the peace symbol. In addition to those items, John Doe 1973 was also located with brown leather cowboy boots that went above the calf and had the word NEOLITE on the heel. Investigators also discovered a knotted leather ankle bracelet and dark blue corduroys with his remains. Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences has ensured that Houston John Doe 1973 is uploaded into all national missing person databases, and his DNA has been entered into the National DNA Databases, CODIS, actively searching for a match since 2005. Forensic genetic genealogy has also been pursued, but to date has not been successful at advancing the investigation. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children encourages anyone who may have information on John Doe 1973 or the items he was discovered with to come forward. It only takes one person to see something, say something, and help us solve this 50-year-old mystery by giving this victim his name back. We remain hopeful that this young man's family and friends are still looking for him, said Carol Schwolzer, supervisor of NCMEC's Forensic Services Unit. He may have siblings, cousins, classmates, neighbors, or friends who have always wondered what happened to him. This young man's friends and classmates would be in their late 60s, early 70s, and we hope that this new imagery reaches them and helps bring in that one single lead needed to resolve this case. If you have any information on John Doe 1973, please call the Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST or the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences and reference case number ML73-3356. Again, that number is 1-800-843-5678. Reference case number ML73-3356. You could be the one lead that they need to solve this mystery and to give this lost boy his name back. He deserves that. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is a private, nonprofit 501c3 corporation whose mission is to help find missing children, reduce sexual exploitation, and prevent child victimization. NCMEC works with families, victims, private industry, law enforcement, and the public to assist with preventing child abductions, recovering missing children, and providing services to deter and combat child sexual exploitation. Every child deserves a safe childhood. In 1984, after several tragedies, John and Revive Walsh and other child advocates founded the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children as a private, nonprofit organization to serve as the national clearinghouse and to provide a coordinated national response to problems relating to missing and exploited children. Progress.
Today, with better public awareness, training, laws, and technology, NCMEC is able to help bring more missing children home every day, including long-term missing children. In 1998, with the help of a private donation, and after starting to receive an increase in reports relating to the online sexual exploitation of children, NCMEC created the Cyber Tip Line. The Cyber Tip Line provides an online mechanism for members of the public and electronic service providers, ESPS, to report incidents of suspected child sexual exploitation. Since its inception, NCMEC's Cyber Tip Line has received millions of reports concerning crimes against children. Missing Children's Day. On May 25, 1979, 6-year-old Eaton Patz vanished from a New York street on his way to his school bus. Every year on the anniversary of Eaton's disappearance, the nation observes Missing Children's Day. For over 3 decades, NCMEC has continued to help search for children like Eaton. We never forget a child and never give up hope, no matter how long a child has been missing. National Missing Children's Day honors this commitment to help National Missing Children's Day honors this commitment to help locate and recover missing children like Eaton by reminding parents, guardians, families, and communities that every child deserves a safe childhood. Texas Regional Office. Overview. Since opening in 2008, the Texas Regional Office brings the NCMEC mission of finding missing children, reducing child sexual exploitation, and preventing victimization to the state of Texas. Every day, NCMEC's dedicated and committed staff work with families, children, law enforcement, industry, and other child-serving professionals to prevent, protect, and respond to child safety issues. NCMEC's many programs such as safety education, professional training, survivor resources, technical services, and assistance to law enforcement localize on a community level to impact, benefit, and safeguard the children of Texas. Located in Austin and serving the entire state, the Texas Regional Office supports 17 full-time employees who focus on operational and outreach efforts to protect children in the state of Texas. And I quote, "I am deeply committed to giving to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children because, to me, there is no greater cause than one that strives to protect innocent children, support families who are living their worst nightmare, and never stop searching for a child no matter how much time has elapsed." Amy Diaz Brubaker, NCMEC Texas donor. Finding missing children in Texas. Dedicated case managers and their teams add value to cases of missing children reported to both law enforcement and NCMEC, while serving as an information hub for the law enforcement, families, and others who may become involved in a case of a missing or exploited child. Here are key numbers regarding NCMEC's missing children efforts in 2023. Texas cases of missing children which were resolved, 3,184. This includes children who were reported as missing during any previous years. There were 8 missing children from Texas who had age-progressed images created in 2022. Children reported to NCMEC as missing in Texas, 3,069. 109,772 missing children posters were distributed in Texas through ADAM program. NCMEC provided support for 49 Amber Alert cases initiated by Texas law enforcement involving 63 children. Reducing child exploitation in Texas. Through funding by the Department of Justice, the U.S. has 61 Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, which are dedicated law enforcement agencies that serve as that state's expert and hub on these types of crimes. Due to its size and population, the state of Texas has 3 ICACs: Texas Attorney General's Office, Dallas Police Department, and Houston Police Department, all of which consistently, year after year, are among the top 10 highest volume ICACs in receiving cyber tip line reports and investigating leads of suspected child sexual exploitation. In 2023, Texas law enforcement received more than 74,742 actionable cyber tip line reports. Of those, 316 were priority 1 or 2 reports, indicating immediate or imminent sexual abuse of a child. More than 70,000 of those total reports were related to the possession, distribution, or production of child sexual abuse material, CSAM. Additionally, more than 3,200 of those total reports concerned online enticement, a continued risk to children as more and younger kids spend time online. Like every state, sadly, child sex trafficking is a serious concern for the state of Texas. Through reports from the cyber tip line and missing child intakes, NCMEC has a dedicated team of analysts specialized in these vulnerable victims and engaged with law enforcement on their behalf. In addition, a team located at NCMEC headquarters provides real-time analytical support to law enforcement recovery operations, focusing on identifying and safeguarding children who are sex trafficked.
That's going to do it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed our spooktacular story. Remember, if you have any information, contact this number. And if you would like to find out more about what we discussed today or the organization that puts on the articles, like the article that I read, you can go to this website. Y'all have a great Wednesday, a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you here next Wednesday, bright and early at 9 o'clock with our 4th spooktacular story. Be good to each other.